couple of sounds and then no train.
Yeah, I can see her now.
Oh, they're backing it down. Okay. It's a wonder they didn't have a caboose on the back for the air whistle. Oh, there you have. You got the calf with them. Call that a cow and a calf. Must figure there's going to be a lot of heavy set people on this train. two units. Well, it's not really a unit.
No, it's a slug.
See, it was funny to go to the stocking point.
Grammy. Yes.
Sorry.
I really didn't mean
No proceeds.
Oh, they got flashing red lights in here.
Oh,
Come on, guys. I'm coming back for you.
take a look at that. Those are nice cars.
So we're going to be going out that way, right?
Yeah.
Right backwards, but what do you do?
So we can look over the top of the sun.
Hi, Shadow.
Facing the head anyway, that'll be alright.
Yeah.
The steel plant switchback will be on the left side of the back around here. Yeah. Stand up
There's lots of time to go back to the train show at the Lord Beaver for Print. If you have any questions, we'll have club members wandering around and you just ask the questions, and there's also crew members on board. You can ask any questions you have about the Brunswick Southern. So welcome aboard. Let's get underway.
All aboard!
Yeah, these old cars certainly do pick up a lot.
Well, I thought we were going to Bay Side, which is out beyond the yard, the main yard. We're going to Bay Shore yard, which is down close to Fairfield. Well, remember, big train rides, big train rides. Rare mileage, tree lines, going down Bay Shore. Excursion with the runs. I don't know what to do with rare mileage. Do I mark it down somewhere and see that then? I don't know, you gotta belong to the right club or what swamp to put it on. Well, that had been on rare mileage. They added 50 cents. Actually, they added
Is that station open?
That's not a station.
It's not a station.
That is an ice rink. That is the hockey league. The rink for the show it, the old rink. That's the new rink. The station is located right here.
Skateboard park.
On your right.
Yep.
Look right here. Just turn your head to the right. There it is. There's the steam line. Right here. Listening to your left. Just past it.
Oh,
That's the steam line. There's another piece coming.
There.
Another piece. These, when they ran the Atlantic with steam heat, that's when they took care of the engine. How do I know all this?
Nice crab, guys.
I learned this. Don Brooks. They got another part of the whole thing.
Talking about the tourist train. If they put a truck on, see, the dumper now.
They got two cranes, lights.
I don't want to talk about it. I was wondering,
Very clever to
set up the word.
look at the street.
We don't have to wait for the buses at the end. We just stop. We don't want them.
I love it when they do something. That's probably a good picture. This is the only place you can get London buses.
Don't forget to wave to all the people that are waving to you, please. They all like to be waved at the train.
Wave at the cop.
Wait to the nice policeman.
he's not even paying attention.
No.
He's not even looking.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll let you know that there is a washroom in every car. One washroom in each car. If you feel the need, make sure that you look and see if it's not locked first. But there's one washroom in each car. It's marked with the washroom signal on there. So you may need it before we get back. Not that we're going to scare anything out of you, but and we'll be going right over. The doctor tells me we'll be right over to City Line. We'll be stopping exactly where the tourist train starts, but we'll be going through the yard and right down to City Line, so you get a good view of Musquash and of the island and everything like that. So don't forget to wave to folks. Folks love to wave to people in trains, so you can wave back at them from the train to make them happy. Wave to everybody at the LBR and the train show.
Yeah, we gotta go to the clinic it's a nice
Avenue.
Yep.
Well, I have a picture here of a different Canadian. Good man. In there.
It's reading, it's not reading the way, maybe because of the
Canadian. Yeah. Huge, man. We're up there. Cruise
Almost up to the bridge.
I was told yesterday, yeah, I told him, I said, thanks, Chicago. Someplace, well, maybe I'm wrong, the access down to that area. It's amazing when you turn the switch back down.
by road or by rail?
They're all trading locomotives and stuff.
So there's a rail bed, and you're talking about, you say there's a rail, current rail going down.
I don't know where it cuts out from, but it goes down.
Everything down there? No.
There's one steel fabrication source and one where we had rail service. Yeah, we did get a ride down. We took it.
Yeah. They walk back.
Went off. Well, they can give it back too if you need a ride.
I came down with Larry, yeah.
Let me know.
Wow.
I gotta keep them straight. Ow! Still in stock. Guess how long?
Any idea what that is? Steel, that's all steel fabrication.
Unbeknownst to someone, I was looking
Well, there's a rail line. Yeah.
it's scary.
It looks like we're joining right here.
A few years ago.
It's still connected.
I used it
Huh?
5 years
Still
old.
connected.
So when you were
Came up on this last night.
Walked up here.
Yeah, walked up this.
It's not even in service. You can see the tires.
Well, he's got a few. There's a spur back there, because right in the.
Yeah, that goes all the way back there and comes back. It's actually not in too bad a shape down there, except the grade is ridiculously
Yeah.
steep.
Pretty steep, isn't it? Yeah.
The switch is just up a little bit.
So you'll notice this way like the office from the Swift Rail family.
Yeah.
Even in discovered that the train but the very people who are rescued doing the tough scene.
Is the turnout right on the road?
No, it's just back there a little bit. We passed it. They had the old CP whistle signs.
Schlack water, somebody sitting on the top of there. That's almost up. And over here, oh look, there's a nest.
I know the drill.
Which would normally be keys if there's the tide is into it.
Yes. Yeah.
That's nice. There's your rabbits.
That's beautiful.
I don't think
Don't worry. You can be in the shot if you want.
No, I've taken it out.
But it amuses me that 40 years ago, people over 60 used to come up and say, wow, I can't believe it. I'm still able to ski and I'm keeping up with kids. And now I am that age.
Used to be a double bridge.
Well, I can't believe it. I'm keeping up with the people that are in their 80s. They used to think
Sit
they
on
were
the other side, come back, and you gotta put the old pulp mill.
"Oh, I'm getting old now. Well, there you go. That was considered.
That's the old tourist bureau. Closed down for a few years, but the guy bought it.
Oh, yeah?
Spent a couple million renovating it.
You'll notice that the tide is going out, coming down from the St. John River, headed for the Bay of Fundy. It's just turned after high tide. It's not very spectacular right now. It is if you're looking out and straight down, I guess, but maybe by the time we get back, it'll have a little more current. These used to be called the reversing falls. They're now called the reversing rapids. So, give it a people were looking for a waterfall. This is the big Irving pulp plant. If you ever see a package of Magesta toilet paper, this is where it comes from. Where you put it is up to yourself.
I think you can get the hint. I don't know, can we?
Right?
So, hey, we were doing this is the oil
Where?
I was just in case you don't remember. That's another issue.
I think they sold it down somehow.
I'll worry about these things. Then I got other bus to worry about too. How am I going to take those? The firefighter. My father's a nice bench. I was sounds like a nice feeling.
That's Moosehead Brewery.
Now they're paying the same job. They're up to 40 or 50. It was just the era they hit it. Well, I could live on 40. That was ridiculous. They're pushing 50.
That's where they grab those cars.
Am I stupid or what?
So those cars are all full of beer?
Eventually.
No.
They were.
No.
I guess you weren't. Too bad they weren't. You'd be thirsty.
So I said, hey, you don't like me and I don't like the job. Pay me to leave.
Very competitive. Now they cut the line off there. Used to continue.
Off to your right, you'll see a big container with screens around it. That's where they drive their big tandem trucks on, and then they stand them up on their back end and drain out the wood chips. There's nobody there right now. If there is a truck on or approaching, coming back, we'll stop and have a look at it. A little further on, you'll see where they offload the cars with full of wood chips from both New Brunswick and from Maine. They're bringing them in from Maine these days, and then they pile them up and produce them after that through the system. But there's an offloader up here where they do the train trips.
There's no clearance. They warn you about it. The clearance on rails. This is But Carlos tried to straighten it out. Trucks. Tank cars. So when you model it on your layout, you can't get your finger in it. You know why? I can remember signs along the
These old cars certainly do.
they mean it. Bridges. Don't hang on. We'd be looking out the door and you see how bridge just back down. And of course the rail fans went
I think we're gonna back up.
whenever you can.
Is it fixed?
I don't want that.
Oh well.
As we back up, if you look on your left-hand side as we're backing up, you'll see Moosehead Brewery, famous producers of some of the finest ale you'll ever taste. If you get a chance to,
Really?
if you haven't tasted the Moosehead, you can drink one tonight and
All
pay
right.
the consequences tomorrow. No, I'm teasing, but more than one, we're not responsible for what you do because it's good maritime ale and the alcoholic content is higher than our American drinks.
The one
We're now
from
backing
Ottawa is
through
very
the Y, and we're going into starting to back down toward the Bay Shore. So we're backing right through the business area of West St. John. You will notice that there's a Tim Hortons Wendy's, but we'll not be stopping there for your coffee this morning.
The most
Oh, that's way down. Okay. When we come back, I think it's. Now let's get some of the people traveling. You never know what shows up in the coupler. We'll have to come back the other way and see what's going on.
The season starts.
Also off to your left is the Lancaster Mall, those low buildings, that's all one big mall with a Walmart as the center store. It is also the location in one of the adjacent buildings next to the Shoppers Drug Mart of the Post Club, our layout. The St. John Society of Model Railroaders have a building down there, and our layout will be on display tomorrow from 9 o'clock until 3 o'clock. So you're invited to find out where the Lancaster Mall is and drop by 39 and 3 and see our layout, which we didn't have room for at the show in the LBR. We thought we'd give up our space for all the folks who are coming in from out of town. So be sure to drop over and see us tomorrow, anywhere between 9 and 3 on your way out.
So this thing's stuck in down here or something.
It goes down to it used to be Maniac used to be here, now it's west of where the paper mill was up there.
Like a big grain elevator.
Big grain elevator was further down beyond this yard. Grain elevators down on the wall.
Seems to be a lot of transformers.
Not yet. We're gonna go up there, oh no, Voices. I think we're gonna do that tomorrow. You wanna see some pictures? So guys, hold up. Yeah, certainly the ad director, that's the station, national station. That's where we are, that's the beer company. Yeah, that's great. That's the overpass, the old overpass, it's the one that we can't get, go down to get to the station. That's great. That's the old burning facility that used to be the base of this yard. It's really nice. That is the burning facility. So that looks like, that's very familiar. That's on his land? What? That's us. That's us. Forgive my language. I gotta see that layout. That's nice stuff. That's very nice. I love typical people building you can see the buildings directly. That one's on the same. He's the one who there's the via train going to St. John Station under the bridge. And there's a scene that just doesn't exist. But you wish that. I have pictures of me or Agnes station. I have down here years ago. From years ago, yeah. We have a show up down there. They have
What you see off to your left as we back down is the Bay of Fundy, home of the world's highest tides. The farther up the bay, toward the same way we're going that you go, the higher the tides get. You'll also see ships anchored out there, and they're waiting to come into the port of St. John. There's tankers out there, and there's also just cargo carriers, mostly tankers. There's a lot of tankers coming in here to the Irving offload docks that are on Courtney Bay. Also, there's a buoy over there off that point of land, and there's the big tankers line up at that buoy. There's nobody on the buoy this morning, but they line up and offload crude oil to take to the refinery. The port of St. John is the third biggest port in Canada in tonnage. The biggest port in Canada is Vancouver, the second is Montreal, and the third, with our apologies to the folks in Halifax, is St. John in the number of tonnage, tons that are brought in and go out every year. The island you see there with the lighthouse on it and the little causeway that goes across to the island is called Partridge Island. And in the late 1800s, when the potato famine took place in Ireland, we had a great immigration, a large immigration of people coming across from Ireland and Scotland, and they all were quarantined for weeks here at Partridge Island. It was just filled with buildings, and everyone that came off the boats had to spend time in Partridge Island under quarantine until they were deemed fit to become a Canadian and head up the St. John River. So that's Partridge Island. If you'd like to do a little exploration on it, if you Google Partridge Island, St. John, New Brunswick, you can get chapter and verse there on how many thousands of people went through and how many thousands of people died of typhoid and such on Partridge Island and are still buried there. It's not open to the public yet, but they're talking about trying to get it open and have either a causeway across to it or boat transportation back and forth and build it up so it's a National Historic Site. And people, as we all do, try to trace our relatives these days. I was lucky enough to have a great-grandfather come across and clear Partridge Island and go up to Fredericton to work up there. So that's Partridge Island. We're just approaching the outskirts of the Bayshore Yard, and as I said, we'll be backing down. You won't see the yard. There's not much left anymore. There's a few rails here, and the NB Southern stores some cars over here, but we're backing right down to City Line, so you'll get a look at the mouth of the harbor too. The harbor is on the other side of that Partridge Island. It's between there and the line over on the other side called Red Head, or Redhead, as we call it, and that's the mouth of the harbor. Partridge Island to the other side is Redhead. The bumps you see out there are there's an LNG terminal out there where they bring ships in and take ships out. They bring ships in with natural gas at the present time. Take both ways on the LNG terminal.
We were on the parallel road, now on the road we wanted to be on. The parallel road takes the other direction. Okay, so the rest of the bridge east of this desert, among other trails. We went through it to this track. And we were here. We didn't find it. Nice houses, good views. I would say in the winter it's rather yeah, the house are in school. There's a well. We end up down here well, I think this is not good. The next stop over there. Barely make it out. It almost looks like that's what they're doing. On this side. Yeah, well, however, you can see every 24.
So what goes on down
Look at the map way down the other extension of land. This is some sort of chemical things works. Well, this is where Irving stores the cars.
and where is your
It's on the other side. That's why it's called. It's not like you. Of course, that's what all those are. It's a dry chemical. Maybe
out overgrown area that just turned green.
Isn't that fire right on the hill there, off the bridge?
No, way in the distance. Why, and why the causeway? Why does that go? Different
And I
sign.
have a train show coach here.
Yeah.
So we're working on that for next November.
I'm gonna see us get these cars.
You'll see the remains of a nice New Brunswick Southern green color of an old caboose up there, being used for some sort of offload.
Every year in the co-chair.
For those of you that model railroads, there you go. You don't need much. Just take the wheels off an old caboose, rust it up a bit,
We get 6,000,
put a board on behind it, put a wheel on behind it, make it
One
thin.
cent, 10,000 CB rail. The people were leaving the area. Crazy. We're not.
If you look, once you get by these cars, you'll see a tower off to your right. The tower on the hill, it's called Martello Tower. It's been there since, how do I say this politely, since the War of 1812 to 1814, when we were afraid of being invaded by the United States of America. We weren't always as friendly as we are now, and Martello Tower looks toward the harbor. It was an emplacement, and it was a gun emplacement. It was the sighting for guns that are just off to your left on the bank. You can't see them from here, but they're built into the side of the bank that protected the harbor. Martello Tower was where they sighted to set the guns in case somebody came floating through the harbor. It was also used in the Second World War. We had sub-nets across the harbor here between Partridge Island and Red Head, again, to thwart any of the Axis submarines that were coming in. I don't know how successful they were. Rumor has it that they had gone aboard a submarine in the North Atlantic and they found tickets from a St. John movie theater on board the submarine. So I'm not sure how good the submarine nets were, or the coastline was pretty fluent for coming in, taking a raft and rolling it in and come to St. John. I have no idea what the movie was, but it's a good story anyway. The RSD trucks you see there are pellet trucks. They're all monster helmets just where they throw up the old cells and you don't break the wall to the right. Then there are two new sets of tracks there. Those are just
That would have been interesting. Where'd they get the money? There's something up on the hill there. That's the tower. There it is right there. I'm sorry. I was looking the wrong direction. That's the Martello Tower right there.
I've been up on that thing a long, long time ago.
See the wall? Oh yeah. They'd be up on top there waiting for the Americans to come in. And we didn't show.
45 years ago, almost.
off to your right, you'll also see the location of the old roundhouse. You'll see a little bit of graffiti written on the back walls there, and there was also the location of the turntable naturally in front of the
About 1 month
roundhouse.
short of 45 years.
All that remains is graffiti. And when if you're on a boat tour into St. John, the train backs into those tracks and loads you and gets you on a bus, and then a whole bunch of people on buses come on board the train and they go back this way. You're getting a round trip today.
Oh, okay,
Tourists,
yes.
so they come off the boat.
Yes, right there.
Get a one-way ticket over or back one way or the other. You'll see a sign here that says, that sign you see just to the right says New Brunswick Southern, welcome to the
Worst
ship
part about
passengers.
this, where they building all these was the Americans were also cousins.
Yeah.
Lobster traps.
Northern New York, everybody
Hungry?
very we were concerned with.
Have some lobster for tonight.
That was yeah. Let's go out there for dinner. We're having lobster. There's a nice bed here. It's a little playhouse. And,
His sea legs are better than mine. You're right.
nice little bed here.
Trampoline to kill the kids off.
Nice new bed. Even though the winds come in, environments. Inspect them. You're getting steep roofs now. You guys might get snow.
They don't want to go like that.
Oh, Michigan, yeah.
It's 10:45.
In our area, not in the car area, just 2 miles north of us, and I mean 2 miles. They have to go Alaska, Parrish, every winter, they're shoveling the roof, which does do a little damage. But here's an idea, look at the siding here. That's what happened to the, that's the winds or something's going on. Looks like heat almost.
Looks like a brush fire here.
Yeah.
The engine started a fire and burnt the shit down.
That's a possibility, or the brakes, where they had their cookout.
That's wild buckwheat grows. Those is very volatile as far as fires.
Well, that's why the vinyl will go fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't the wind. That was definitely heat. These are very similar houses. We can pick this up and move it. Nobody knows it. We can pick up St. John and move it. They might know the difference. This is the interesting part. Look at the soil. Unless they put that retention, there's not a lot of topsoil under some of the ground here. So you can break down the rock real fast.
This built-up area, which we went through originally when we were backing down to the Bayshore Yard, used to be called Lancaster. This was the city of Lancaster, and with all good civic governments over the past 50 or 60 years, was amalgamated into the city of St. John. However, if you're from Lancaster, you're still from Lancaster, and they'll be happy to tell you that. If you say, "Are you from St. John?" they'll say, "No, I'm from Lancaster." So this is the ex-city of Lancaster, now the St. John West.
Nice area. That has a lot of expense.
One of the old telegraph lines.
So here's what I'd like to find out. You have the adjoining small. Yeah, they're like condos. Well, they're condos, but the thing is, if you can get one of these for a guy that lives in the apartment, need a home or a condo, or retirement homes, that's not what I mean. They also have patio homes, which are 2 units, or single units.
Oh,
Do you have any relatives up in Florensville?
no,
I know a Maynard director.
not related.
Working on it. They may have basements.
I just use that
Over
name.
here built with an attached,
I just own it.
instead of having the furnace in the basement.
Put it outside.
Put it
Yeah,
outside.
that's interesting. However, that may be a good thing. So you got fumes or something.
You got more space to rent, that's what you got.
That is what you got. But I noticed they have
Lay right on that horn. I don't hear it very often.
Nope. You having fun there, Tim? Yeah.
Doesn't get better than much.
We're gonna have to relieve Dave.
Well, this is the guy. I think he's What?
You didn't see the video, haven't you?
I saw the video.
Yeah. All I did is went up and talked to one of the guys I knew, and he's like, "Yeah, sure, come on up." So we came up, sat in the cab, and the rest is ancient history.
On the Christmas Ocean 2 years ago, I was just touring in the park with one of the guys from Toronto, real fancy car, and we got the emergency notice reading photos of me. The engineer obviously didn't like that the park door on the left-hand side was open, so he blew the emergency horn right as he was passing by the park car.
Nice.
Which you got an earful of that, my friend, it's loud. It's loud.
Oh, I know.
It's like, I often text him and ask him what's the emergency horn sound like, and he sends me a YouTube video. After December 2014, I no longer need to ask him what it sounds like.
Yeah, I
don't
bet.
know what it sounds like up close. It's personal.
I don't even really need to worry about the sound.
What's that? Can you just step in there just for a second?
Certainly. Dave's gonna kill me again. He's gonna be pissed
Oh, yeah.
when he sees this. Was he pissed on the cab ride?
Yeah.
He was.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think he really knew. I hope I turned it on.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, go ahead.
There we go.
And 906, about 10 to the cross and whatnot.
Sorry, look at the switch stand right there. That's pretty unique. Second time over, just the left of the bumper.
And another 5 to the cross in 06, 5 more.
The size of them, right there.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to how the welders and all
It's my
the
first time actually up this way.
Oh, is that right? Where are you
Yeah.
from?
Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Okay. Nice place.
Yeah, I did the Via Rail Safety Day as well.
Okay.
A couple weeks last month. I got a cab ride.
Oh, did you?
It was a lot of fun.
And Highball Crossing 06.
Went around the container pier.
Okay.
I know a lot of the guys up there.
So you like model railroading too?
I'll love it. I do a lot of
It's
this.
expensive though.
Yeah,
It's an expensive hobby.
I do exploring of the railways and everything. I went on the old Atlantic Dominion.
Okay.
I hiked the 32 miles.
And 10 cars to the crossing 06 one not.
Should be all the incentive you need.
Well, should be the incentive for you to have a small bigger rail on the other end.
You give the top floor to your wife and you get on the base.
And 5 to the crossing 06, 5. But you're missing all the railway show at the Beaverbrook though, aren't you?
No.
This is more exciting.
Yes, a lot more. Oh, this is worth it. I still get a lot of the show.
Oh, it's fuel oil.
Yeah, but they
On the side of the tank it says fuel oil.
And Highball Crossing 06, just starting on a bridge, Chris. See, we do it 3 days a week. We go from St. John to Macadam. So
Do you remember the...
How long of a trip is that?
That's the
if there's about 3 hours, let's say 3.
And of course, it's back
good.
across the bridge again, just a little over 1,100 feet long, built in both cantilever and whatever else. It's really a couple of bridges the way it's set up. But you'll see that the tide is a little quieter as it approaches high ebb. What happens is when the tide reaches the high ebb, or when it stops at the high tide, that's when they get the boats up the St. John River. They're tugboats, there are pleasure craft and anybody else. So they kind of wait down below. That would be off to your left-hand side, and then on the
And 10 cars to Douglas Avenue Crossing 06.
that is
one, no?
very deep below you, very deep.
Do you get all the voice on this too, or is it just a...
It takes up everything,
colors of the rocks.
Yeah.
at least mostly. I know I've got the horn on it somewhere.
Okay.
So that says what color you're gonna have here.
Good steady hand on you.
Eh,
5 to the crossing 06, 5.
a little steady, but it's hard to hold it like this.
The bridge looks to be legit.
Well, other than the movement.
And Highball
There's some
Crossing
people
06.
standing by under a sign called Passage over there, looking at the train going by. That's a walking trail that goes all the way back down into downtown St. John. It follows the river and then the harbor right down into downtown St. John. So it's
So you traveled from Halifax?
Yeah,
you want to take
me
a
and
walk,
another guy
it's
from the club
very
came up.
well lit, and the scenery is quite nice too.
Ticket was only
As you
$10
walk
for the
down.
train ride?
It's easier
20?
as you walk
It's well
out, you're
worth it.
walking uphill, so it's easier when you're going back home. You'll be on the downhill slope. And speaking of that, we're just about ready as we go through. If you get a chance to look out the left-hand side of the steel yard, this is fabricated steel. There's a rail line that goes down to there, and between this rail line that you see on your left-hand side right beside you and the one way down under the green girders down there, That's about as steep as you'll ever see on a rail grade. They take them down one car at a time, and you'll get a glimpse just in a few minutes of the other rail and the steepness of the rail below this one that's going down toward the road. There's another rail that runs down toward the right as you look out on it. So this is the one that they're setting up on, they're dropping, and then they cut back. There's a cutback on it, or a switchback, if you will, and it goes straight down. No bones about it. We were talking about the ruling grade here and whether it's 3% or a little over 3% or a little under 3%. This one is just gigantic. I wouldn't even try to guess with a tangent what it would be.
It's like a 7% grade,
Going down to Oceans Hill?
at least.
Okay, you want to make sure the brakes are working on the cars and that when you bring them down.
Oh yeah. You lose a car going down there, you're gonna have a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You do. Yeah.
You might just let it go. There's no point in stopping it.
Yeah. Jump off. And looking good. 06 keeper coming.
What you see on the left-hand side is the end or the mouth of the St. John River. It goes under a bridge that is blue these days. It's called the Harbor Bridge. That gets us over to Lancaster if we have to go. It also gets us to Fredericton and to the United States, to our everything that is west of St. John. That's the main harbor bridge. And the St. John Harbor, as you can see, once it starts after the bridge, and it's not very wide. The cruise boats, when they come in, and we get upwards of 100 of them a year, depending on a good year or a bad year, but they have great fun coming in and turning before they go out because they like the show. So they usually come in. Sometimes they drive in and turn here and then leave, but it's not very wide in the harbor, so things are a bit of a challenge. But it is just the cruise boats and container boats that come in these days. Off to the left and far left, you'll see a scrap metal. That's a recent addition to the harbor.
And about
where
10
we're bringing in
cars to
scrap
Bentley
metal from
Street
all around the
06.
Maritime provinces, chopping it up and putting it on boats for other ports who make use of scrap metal. So if you're throwing out scrap metal, sometime it'll probably end up here in St. John to be put on a boat to leave.
Another 5
Most
cars,
of it is
Chris.
brought in by rail, believe it or not. There is some trucking, bad word around here, but rail have the old Gons, the old beat-up Gons that come in here, and they're well beat up and they're full of scrap metal, and they know their destination in time to come. They'll be part of the load coming to St. John, I'm sure.
5-ball crossing 06.
The two towers, of course, the two big cranes are for the offloading of the containers.
So you just put that all on CDs, do you, or on the computer?
Yeah, I have it all on computer. I put up on my YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I do anything involving railroading. That's what I do. Even if it's simulated, model railroading, doesn't matter. Anything railroad related. Surprised the battery's lasting this long.
Yeah. Well, that was a phone at first, but it's a little camcorder, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is. It's pretty good too. It does a good job.
Yeah.
Saw the train coming down through here last night.
Oh, transfer, yeah. Yeah, looking good, Chris. Keep her coming.
Do you guys ever use that yard there?
We used to. I don't think we use it that much. That's just about a 1, 2, 3, 4, about an 8-car shunt. But they build a new facility out in our yard, and they mostly use that. They'll just use that maybe if there's an overflow of a product.
Storage yard.
Yeah.
Then. That's pretty good. See the old signal bases.
Yeah.
No, down at the Atlantic Dominion, or the Dominion Atlantic, sorry. You can't find telegraph lines or nothing.
Oh, is that right?
They rip the poles right out. There's nothing left. It's hard to find anything down there. I found 2 halves of an insulator and managed to glue them together.
Oh, all kinds of insulators out on our line.
And not very common on that line. Windsor and Hansport, I think they still own it, but I'm not sure if they run trains down there now. No, they don't.
No, did you? Why? You were around there? I knew the roadmaster there, or the general, Jimmy Taylor.
I've never met him.
No. Yeah, still looking good. High ball on the passenger walkway there, Chris.